What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And today I'm going to be talking about the closed beta for Sea of Thieves on PlayStation 5. And I'm going to admit one thing: this game is an utter blast. Granted that, I have played this game for a good solid couple of hours yesterday over the course of the weekend so far. And my impressions on this is very interesting because normally I don't always play these types of games in general, whether if it's an online cooperative or any multiplayer type of games, but that's where Sea of Thieves, to me, it feels, for me, it always feels different when it comes to games that have maybe a strong presence of cooperative online gameplay with friends. And that's one thing I think Sea of Thieves really does quite interesting for me as well. But overall, I really think that Sea of Thieves really has the most utter potential on PlayStation. But by all means, this game is actually one of the most highest pre-ordered games on PlayStation 5, which a lot of people already know of, which is quite astounding, really, because, this game is quite old. I don't recall what year this came out for Xbox or PC, but you understand where I'm going with this. So I think where Sea of Thieves, especially for the closed beta, I really like the structure of this whole entire game. Really, it's a fairly unique way of how to explain things here. So my apologies, but I want to go into basically the tonality, the structure of the game and how this game really feels different to a certain type of degree, other than it being an online cooperative action adventure sandbox game. Much like like the Division or like Assassin's Creed or any other type of game that had that type of core structure mechanic of playing with friends and vice versa. And so I think that's where Sea of Thieves really I don't think it really benchmarked the way how this game initially came out, but what made this game really benchmark to the utmost, and for what I understand, is that it's a very highly popular game, even on PC or on Xbox. And I really think that this game is going to be very popular on PlayStation, even though that does have one of the highest pre-ordered ratings of all time on a PlayStation console. Granted, like I said, this game is quite old, but they did release a new update for this game, as far as I know, to where you'll be able to get some better, some better loot and get better equipment and cosmetics, which is really cool. And that is one thing I really love about this open beta, other than that this game is coming out by the end of this month of April of 2024. And so I love the cosmetic designs of this game right now. I mean, I really don't know how to equip the cosmetics. I'm literally trying to still understand this whole entire game itself because I never played this game before, as I previously mentioned, so my apologies on that repetition there. But that's where this game to me feels like it's going to, I really think that this game is going to really do very, very well or excitingly well on PlayStation or even maybe even on Switch, because this game, as I previously mentioned, this was nothing but an Xbox and PC exclusive. And so I think that's where the lines of why I think that this game is going to be very highly popular on PlayStation, because I know that we're already getting only 4 games right now, but I really think that I really think that PlayStation could be getting more from Microsoft or Xbox Game Studios, specifically because I think it's the fact that the ratings of the pre-order rating for Sea of Thieves on PlayStation 5 is extremely high. It's extremely high. And I guess what I'm saying is that I really do think that maybe possibly sometime this year we might be getting more games coming from the rival platform of Xbox. But I'm just putting my own 2 cents out there and really trying to understand why this change is. I wouldn't say it's probably for the better, but I really think it's going to help Xbox more so, because I know that they are having trouble with the sales wise when it comes to the Xbox Series X or S on the other far from the pool of from the US of A, right, in Europe. And I think that's where I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we are getting this game on PlayStation 5 and on Switch. So, anyways, I just want to put my own personal opinion out there about that real quick, because I really think that's where Sea of Thieves, like I said, this game is so much fun. And like I said, I want to go back to what I previously mentioned about, like the tonality of this game, the concept of this game, and why I think that this game is going to be so good, not just on PlayStation or on Switch, but the whole entire game itself, because it's the fact that the tonality of it is really astounding. I love its visual art style. I love the concept design of it. I love the whole entire structure of the game. And I think that's where this game really shines to the most, because we have had several games like this many times before when it comes to different type of art style or visual direction. And that's where I think Sea of Thieves is really it looks really nice on the PlayStation 5. Don't get me wrong. And so I want to put in here this real quick as well. I am not an Xbox fanboy. I am not a Sony fanboy. I am not a PC fanboy. The reason why I talk about more so about, not just games on PlayStation, but I do talk about games on Xbox and on PC, because I am a variety channel, as it were, a little bit though too. So I like to keep things a little bit more variety as much as I can, and not so much more PS5 exclusive games on my channel as well. So I thought I'd put that out there too. Now, I really want to talk about the exploration in this game, and I think that's where this game really shows the potential of this game, of its exploration wise. I really think the exploration in this game it's rewarding. I love the concept of, the puzzle solving in this game. You have friends to play with. I already have one friend that I'm playing with, but other than that, I don't think I'm gonna have any other friends play this game other than my friend and I that are playing it not right now, but we did yesterday this weekend, and so it's kind of sad to where I really want to have some of my friends to get into this game as well, which I'm sure they have, because I know that they have an Xbox or vice versa, but I guess you understand where I'm trying to go with this. So that's what I'm saying. The puzzles. I think the puzzles is in this game, excuse me, is really cool. They can be a little complicated if you don't know what you're doing. You definitely do need help. That's one thing I've greatly noticed while playing this closed beta for Sea of Thieves. And this is a game that to where you need someone to play with. You can't just play it by yourself, because it's like otherwise you will have trouble playing it by yourself. And that's one thing I was literally trying to do earlier today by playing going on open seas and try to figure things out on my own. And while I was still having fun trying to do that, it was difficult. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a game that is difficult to get into if you are going to be playing by yourself. I do highly advise playing with friends, as I've always mentioned and previously stated in most of my videos on my channel, especially when it comes to games like this, like The Division or like Borderlands or whatever, or what other game have you. But that's what I'm saying. This game provides you have to have a lot of communication. And so I think that's where this game you really need to be careful of your resources. You really need to be careful of how you can maintain your boat as well. And that's one thing that makes this game like I said, it is difficult to get into, even for a newcomer as I am. And my friend is a newcomer that's playing this game along with me as well. So that's where the difficulty curve is for this game on PlayStation or on Xbox or on PC. But I know that there are people that played a lot of this game. They got to know the whole entire crux of it, the whole entire concept. And that's where I think that's where a lot of people are going to play this game on PlayStation more so than on Xbox. But I'm sure that there are a lot of Xbox players as well, or PC gamers, or PC players. So that's where I was getting to. So my apologies on that as well. So now I want to get into the combat. The combat is pretty simplistic. It's not that difficult. I mean, it does play a little bit kind of like a little bit of a first-person shooter, because of the fact that, you are playing in first person mode. You cannot switch into third person. The only way you can switch into third person is, however, you can be able to sit in certain areas in the game, and being able to switch to third person in that type of perspective or concept of that. So that's kind of cool. But other than that, the whole entire majority of this game is indeed first person. So let's see. I want to dive into a little bit of the. I don't know. It's really like I said. This game is pretty simplistic. You do, like I said, you do have to maintain certain things. You do have to be very weary or wary of inventory management a little bit though too, because your inventory management can be a little tedious, and you have to basically, if you have your boat along with you, if you're on a shore on a certain type of island, you have to go back to your ship and be able to store things so that way you can be able to pick up more on that specific set island. So that's where the inventory management goes, or the specifics of that. And I think that's where this game is going to be. It is fairly, I wouldn't say not just difficult, but it is fairly confusing a little bit, maybe, I suppose. I don't know. But I really think that this game is really going to do an amazing job, not just on PlayStation, but it's just the fact that there's a lot of risk and reward in this game. And that's one thing I would really dive into here in just a moment here, because this game does have a high risk and reward. It really does. And it's nothing compared to what I would say Skull and Bones, but Skull and Bones does have that though too. I mean, I only played like the closed beta or open beta for that game, but while I was impressed with that game as well, but I am more impressed with Sea of Thieves because you have more, I would say you have more the majority of being able to explore with your friends and being able to solve puzzles along with your friends and just be able to maintain that solid crux of how to solve those types of specific puzzles and being able to communicate. That's like I say, the communication is always going to be key in this game. As I previously mentioned, most other games that you have to have communication, like even like multiplayer or cooperative play in Destiny or Destiny 2, or when you're doing strikes or when you're doing raids, especially. But that's where Sea of Thieves really maintains that type of communication focus, and that's where I think that this game is really going to be. It is fun as long as you know what you're going to be able to do and how to do it, and being able to go up, being able to do certain types of missions, and just be able to understand things a little bit better. And that's one thing I was going to get into as well, is the navigation, especially when you have a ship. The navigation is also going to be one of the biggest key factors in this game as well. And you do have to have one person at the helm of the wheel, and you do have to have one person at the helm of looking at the map and telling you where you need to go, whether if you need to turn right, turn left, or keep on going straight. So that's what I'm saying. It's like this game is the most highest communication game you've ever have to play, because you have to be very, very careful of where you need to go as well. So I think that's where this game is really going to. It's definitely going to be different from most other games out there, much like Destiny 2, much like The Division, or much like any other games that have that. You do not want to have that lack of communication. There's always going to have to be good communication as long as you know what you're going to do and how to be able to be more efficient, and being able to be 100% completionist in a certain type of mission in Sea of Thieves. And I think that's where this game is so much fun. And another thing though too, I have done a couple of missions with my friend online as well. The missions are very good. I love the whole entire mission structure. I like the way how the missions play out. They are pretty. Sometimes they can be easy. Sometimes they can be a little confusing or hard. But that's where the fun factor of this game really lies. I love it when a game that knows what it's doing and being able to have that fun factor, whether if it's an online game. But overall, I really think that this game, like I said, I'm going to go back to this. My apologies. It's the reason why I think that this game they did a really good job with this closed beta. I really think that this game is going to play magnificently well on the PlayStation 5 when this game initially launches. But we're just gonna have to see, because granted, this is a beta, and so when you have games that have closed or open betas, they are still working on the game a little bit more, being able to have it more fluid and more smooth experience for our gamer consumers out there, much like myself. And so I just think that if you really want to have fun with a game, I really think that Sea of Thieves is going to be, like I said, it is a lot of fun. It really is. I love the fact that you can be able to sail in the open seas, find specific areas, and just plunder stuff and do missions. And that's where this game really provides a lot of exploration involvement. And so I really think that I'll probably be playing this game quite a bit with my friend, and I'm hoping that we can get a lot of really cool, unique stuff, do some plundering, do a lot of missions, and I'm just hoping that this game is really going to provide our playtime. And so it's like, I have been playing Rise of the Ronin lately, though, too, on and off, because I've been taking my time with that game, but overall, I'm still having a lot of fun with that game as well. But anyways, I just want to put my own opinions and impressions on the closed beta for Sea of Thieves on PlayStation 5. But anyways, this is Jake from Citizen JV. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Any comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. And you guys have a good rest of your weekend.